The Joe Rogan Experience.
Yeah.
That is something that politicians do. They utilize this moment to try to use it to leverage their own causes, their own pet causes, and things that they think are also important.
There were a group of people that did that with the invasion of Iraq. When 9/11 came along, they said, look, Iraq is harboring Al-Qaeda terrorists. They probably are getting weapons into the hands of people like Al-Qaeda. There was a whole story that was woven up, and that was a way of essentially crippling the fourth largest army in the world, which was Iraq, and making our allies safe.
Did you ever hear the Bill Hicks bit? He goes, they said, Bill, Iraq is the fourth largest army. He goes, yeah, but after the first three, there's a real big drop off. He's like, the fifth largest is a Salvation Army.
It's so true. Yeah.
He had a whole great bit about the size of armies.
Well, we were in Afghanistan for, how long was it, guys?
Yeah, that was
18 years.
He goes, hey, Bill, they say, Bill, it's a war when there's two armies fighting.
Yeah.
Yeah. He goes, but Bill, Iraq is the fourth largest army in the world.
Doesn't mean we won't stay there.
He had some great bits, man. Some great points about shit.
Yeah. He thought outside the box. That's what I'm always amazed at, is how these things can carry on. Like, somebody did a really cool, funny thing about how every general in the Afghanistan theater, every single year would say, we are at a turning point where the Taliban will be under our control. Every time they would make a case for the Iraq war, more money. I'm sorry, for the Afghan war, more money, more logistics, all those things that it required, more troops. The generals would say, it was always the same wording. We're at a turning point, and we just need a little more. And that's
what they have to say.
Yeah.
But what's interesting is if they really did accomplish that, they'd actually cut off the honeypot.
Of course.
They wouldn't have the money coming
That's right.
in. And that's the darkest conspiracy ever, that war is prolonged in order to prop up the military-industrial complex. And what's really crazy about the military-industrial complex is this: when there was Eisenhower talking about it on TV, which was really terrifying. That was when the first people were introduced to this concept. But Trump was talking about it recently. You know, Trump's doing this thing. He's like, well, there's a military-industrial complex, and these guys want to go to war. Like, he's just saying it sort of casually, like, hey, man, who are you talking about? Yeah. Like, who are these fucking
There's
people?
a lot of money in it.
Oh, my God.
And not only that, there are other people, non-governmental organizations, too, that get rated by their burn rate. So we're going to build a dam here. Well, we don't need a dam here, but we're going to build it anyway because we're allotted that money. There's a lot of that goes on. Yeah. So that's why with conspiracy theories, I'm way more apt to believe that the government is way more incompetent than it is competent. It's just a massive bloated bureaucracy that doesn't run well. And I know guys, I know there's a group of people controlling everything. Get the fuck out of here.
There's a little bit of that. There's definitely a lot of incompetence, but there's also a lot of collusion. There's also a lot of people doing things specifically because they know it's profitable.
Can make money.
Yes.